Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 40.4k subscribers. Let's get to 41k by the end of the month. Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. But before we get started, I have to tell you guys about my friends over at My Patriot Supply. As Americans, we need to be prepared, and that includes avoiding the long lines at the grocery store by stocking up on disaster food supply. And there is no better disaster food kit than the ones over at American-made My Patriot Supply. Take action so you're ready for what's coming and save up to $100 on a 4-week emergency food kit when you go to my special website, preparewithredeagle.com. Those that know what's coming are preparing today. Go to preparewithredeagle.com. That is preparewithredeagle.com. And today we have to do a Senate prediction because it's been nearly, I think, if not over a month since my last Senate map prediction. So we're going to go through state by state, and I'm going to show you why Republicans are going to hold the Senate. The Democrats are going to try to flip it. They really don't have a path forward when you look at the actual facts surrounding the situation here. We're going to finish this entire map. We're going to start with the safe states. We'll fill out the safe blue states. Obviously, Massachusetts, although there is a contested primary between Joe Kennedy III and Ed Markey, it's still more likely than not going to go blue. Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, we're going to put it as likely because they're running a good Republican candidate in Lauren Witzke who has a union appeal, and that potentially could make Delaware a little bit closer. I'm hearing a lot of information on the ground out of Delaware that's a little bit good for Republicans, and Chris Coons is not even that popular within his own party. He's going to be primaried. He's probably going to win the primary, but he's a relatively weak candidate running against a very strong Republican candidate, but still, it is Delaware. It's a blue state. So Illinois will be a safe blue state, as well as Oregon. And that should, I think, do it for all of the safe blue states. We can start filling out the safe red states: Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Kansas. Kansas we're going to put likely, actually. Kansas is likely. Roger Marshall is up in the polls over Chris Kobach. He'll probably end up being the nominee, but if Kobach is the nominee, it could get a little bit closer. I still think he'll win, but it'll be a little bit closer. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, yes, Alabama. I think Alabama could qualify for that. Tennessee, West Virginia for sure, because the nominee for the Democrats is pretty far left. And I think we're going to put South Carolina in the safe column. It could be a little bit closer, like an 11 to 12 point win for Graham, but it doesn't seem like Harrison is going to be able to win the state. Might be by a likely margin when it's all said and done, but still probably going to go Republican. Also, we cannot forget the state of Alaska. So right now we have it at 44 for the Republicans, 41 for the Democrats. We're going to start on the East Coast. We're going to make our way west, and we're going to fill out the remaining states here. Maine, I'm going to put in the lean red column. Susan Collins right now, 50-50 in the polls, but I do believe she will solidify Republican support and win the state by roughly about 2%. Again, this is a state that's getting a lot closer every election cycle. This is also a candidate in Collins that has not lost a county statewide since the 90s, but as the country has been a little bit more polarized, she's become more unpopular, yet she's very unpopular among Republicans. She's not supporting Trump. There are plenty of independents in Maine that will still pull the lever for her. I still believe she will win, although it will be her closest election in history. Or at least recent history, that is. And New Hampshire, we're going to put that as likely blue. It seems like the Republicans could not find a very high-profile candidate there, so I do believe it will stay Democrat, but it is going to be a state that's a little bit closer in the national level, so I do think it could be within 10 when it's all said and done, but still, I'm going to put it in the likely blue column. Virginia, this is a unique state. I could probably just put it as safe right now. Safe to likely to safe. You have Daniel Gade going up against Mark Warner. That's going to be roughly around a 10-point win. I think we'll just leave Virginia as safe right now. North Carolina, you have Cal Cunningham versus Tom Tillis, and this is probably going to be back and forth. I do expect it to be 1 to 2 points closer than the presidential race, but I still think that Tom Tillis is going to be able to hold by probably around 2%. I still think Trump's going to win North Carolina by about 3%. So North Carolina is going to stay red, but it's going to be close. Georgia, you're going to see one of these races be close. The special election will be likely, but we will put Purdue's seat as lean. In terms of Kentucky, Kentucky will probably be safe. But either way, I'm gonna just put Kentucky as safe because you have two candidates. I don't believe that they've declared a winner yet. You have Amy McGrath. You have, I think the other guy's name is Booker or something like that, and he's a little bit farther to the left. So I really think that McConnell's going to have no problem either way, basically because of the fact that he got 89% of the vote in the Republican primary or something like that. For comparison, Matt Bevin, who was also historically unpopular, got 52%. So I do believe that McConnell will win by over 10% come November. As for Michigan, pains me to do this, but I think Peters probably does have the edge right now over James. I think that can change. Obviously, James is probably going to be giving a very good speech at the RNC come August or whenever it is. But for right now, we're going to put Michigan as tilt D. As for Iowa, Iowa will put likely R. I do believe Ernst will have no problem winning. Minnesota tilt D. Again, you talk about 3 seats that could flip into the Republican column. Alabama, Michigan. The third one is Minnesota. Obviously, in Tina Smith, you have a candidate who is not very strong, but strong enough. And you do have a decent Republican in Jason Lewis that can make things close. So we'll see. That could be a big upset when it's all said and done. But for right now, we'll have to leave it in the lean column. Texas should be likely. Cornyn is not as polarizing of a figure as Cruz was. Cornyn even won the Hispanic vote back in 2014, although it was a very low turnout election. So I do think Cornyn is probably going to hold. The polling today out of Fox News, which was absolutely abysmal, that showed Trump and Biden in a dead heat in Texas, showed Cornyn ahead by 10 points. So I really think that Texas is going to stay in the Republican hands. And as of right now, Republicans have already held the Senate, 51 seats. That's all they need. But Democrats are more likely than not going to win New Mexico by a likely margin. And Colorado by a likely margin, although that could switch if Hickenlooper's not the nominee. But right now the polls are showing Hickenlooper winning the primary by like a 52-39 margin. So he's probably going to win the primary, and I think that he'll win the general election by like 6 points or so. As for Montana, Montana should stay in the Republican column. Yes, you do have the former governor running, but it seems like Steve Daines should beat him. Again, national politics is a lot different than statewide politics. Trump being on the ballot is only going to help Steve Daines win. So we're going to make Montana in the lean, if not likely, column for the Republicans. And Arizona, we're going to put in the lean column for the Democrats. Martha McSally not being too much of a popular candidate there down in Arizona, running against a Democrat who's running as a moderate in Mark Kelly. And he's going to have a little bit of crossover support, partially because he is an astronaut. So right now it's 52 seats for the Republicans and 48 seats for the Democrats, although that could change. Again, Michigan could easily flip into the Republican column. I'm hoping it does. I'm going to work hard to make sure it does. But as of right now, I'll put Michigan in the tilt blue column. So right now you have 52 seats for the Republicans and 48 seats for the Democrats. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. Join the Discord and subreddit. Donate to the Patreon or subscribe. Star links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.